I should tell you a story. So, this is the story of a party, some persevering princesses, and some quitters. And so let's put the story in context. So we're going to go to Hebrews 12 in the New International Version and Hebrews chapter 12, 1 to 3 in the Message Bible. Can we go there? That's my nephew. That's how he says good job. Hebrews 12, 1 to 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. And verse 3, consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. And in the Message Bible, the same passage says, okay, you can listen. Do you see what this means? All these pioneers who blazed the way, all these veterans cheering us on. It means we better get on with it. Strip down, start running, and never quit. No extra spiritual fat, no parasitic sins. Keep your eyes on Jesus, who both began and finished the race we're in. Study how he did it, because he never lost sight of where he was headed. That exhilarating finish in and with God. He could put up with anything along the way, cross, shame, and whatever. And now he's there in the place of honor, right alongside God. When you find yourselves flagging in your faith, go over that story again, item by item, that long litany of hostility that he plowed through. That will shoot adrenaline into your souls. Hebrews 1 to 3, New International, and the Message. So therefore, since we're surrounded by such a great crowd of witness, let's not lose heart. So the party. So this is the party. There's this big, I want you to imagine, I have a really great imagination. And if you play Wii, PlayStation, Nintendo, you watch a lot of TV, you probably don't have a good imagination. Imagination is when you can create a story in your mind. You see it in your mind. So I want you to see something in your mind. Imagine that there is this amazing, big, huge party. I mean, like if you saw Will and Kate's wedding, how they had like they had all the dignitaries from around the world. They had all this elaborate pomp and circumstance. Or if you caught the reruns of Diana and Charles' wedding, how they had all that, all the magnitude. It was just, it was opulent or opulent, however you say it. It was just big. Imagine that. Or if you like hip hop royalty, you can imagine how like just big, like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're having a baby. And their nursery is going to be 2,200 feet. That's like as big as my house. That's the baby's nursery, where they're going to let the baby sleep. Square feet. Yeah, square feet. It's going to be huge. So I want you to imagine big. Imagine P. Diddy's white parties, where he just has these opulent, off-the-chain, crazy, ridiculous party. Everyone has to wear white. Everyone's fighting for an invitation. They have brownies laced with marijuana. It's not the kind of party you want to be at, but imagine big like that. So at this party, this holy party, not a crazy party, there are 3 huge gold, what are the chairs? But I think what is it called when a king sits? Is it a throne? 3 gold thrones. And in the middle throne is God the Father. And then at the throne, sitting on the throne to the right of God, is Jesus the Son. And on the standing over here next to the third chair is the Holy Spirit. And sitting in the third chair, if you're a lady, is you. If you're a gentleman, you're standing next to her, whoever your wife, sister, cousin, friend, whatever it is. You're just her escort, like the FAMU Orange and Green King and Queen, or like the Miss FAMU, how they have the escorts, and his job is just to stand next to the girl and look good. That's your job in this story. So you're sitting by these three crowns. Now in the audience, it's just huge. It's just like, just plow. There's like a gold floor. There's marble walls. There's just, bling bling diamonds. There's this gold everywhere. It's just ridiculous. It's just like, the stock market would make the stock market look like pennies. It's just lavish. There's, all the food you could eat, just rich. And so in all these chairs, you're gonna see like people, angels, you see a whole crowd of people. It's really full. So this is a ceremony. This is a coronation party. A coronation is the crowning of a royal person, like a king gets crowned in a coronation ball, or a queen gets crowned in a coronation ball, or a princess. So we'll call you a princess, because I am partial to princesses. And in this party, your crowning party, because you're God's princess, there are 12 women who are going to bring you 12 roses. So I'll talk about the roses and the women. But before I do, I want to tell you my personal favorite fairy tale. My personal favorite fairy tale is The Princess and the Pea. And how many of you know that story already? I noticed only like 3 little kids know it. So there's this princess. She's really a princess, and she's lost in this storm. Kara's like, oh, dog, a princess story. That was about girls. So she's lost. There's a storm going on. She's lost, and her whole entourage is lost. Her hair is dripping wet. Her clothes are all raggedy and muddy. Her horse and carriage have been destroyed. And she's walking through this storm, and she comes to this palace. And at this palace, it's a prince's palace, who happens to be, of course, looking for a bride. And they happen to have a bride of royal birth. So the bride has to be a princess. And he has a really, like one of those moms who are like in his business a lot. And so she wants to make sure that he gets the right girl. So this princess comes and knocks on the door, and she says, can I come in? It's been stormy out here. There's rain, I'm wet, and I'm a princess from a foreign land, and it's just, I need help. So the queen pulls her in, and she wants to see if she's really a princess. So she gives her this test. She puts her in a room, and she gets this hard pea. And peas when you eat them are soft, but when they're before you soak them in water, they're pretty hard, but not that hard, but they're pretty hard. So she puts 1 pea under the bottom mattress, and then she stacks like 10 mattresses on top of that. And she makes it up with feather pillow blankets, and makes it all up, so it looks really pretty. But that pea is there. So she says a real princess will not be able to sleep good, because she's going to even be bothered by that tiny pea. So the princess goes to sleep that night, and she tosses and she turns, and she can't get to sleep. And so she gets up in the morning, and the queen and the prince are like, how was your sleep? And she says, oh, it was horrible. I couldn't get comfortable. And so then, of course, her identity is revealed. She's really a princess, and she gets to marry the prince. And I like that story now as an adult, because that's how life is sometimes. Sometimes you're in these situations that maybe or maybe not would annoy somebody else, but they're aggravating to you, and you're tossing and you're turning, and you think it's horrible. You wake up, you're like, why am I in this mess? But that situation is really revealing who you are. It's really revealing that your royal birth. It's really revealing who God is in you. It's really revealing you. So I think that story just shows how under pressure, under circumstances, it appears to us to be a bad thing. The princess was uncomfortable, but in the big scheme of things, it was preparing her for her destiny, for her purpose, to be this, princess. And who wouldn't want to be a double princess? Because why? You get double money. And I just think that's great. I think that's great. It's the best part of the story. 2 palaces. So, the rose is back to you on this crown. on this throne, there are 12 women who come to present you with 12 roses because you have not given up. You're here at this coronation ceremony because you have endured something. You haven't quit. Whatever you've endured, you're sitting here because you're about to receive a crown because you didn't give up. And the 12 women who are going to come to you are first, for those who didn't give up over health situations, maybe you just have been going through and struggling with something. The woman with the issue of blood, she comes and she presents her rose. And she's that one who she was bleeding for 12 years. She was bleeding for 12 years. She went to doctor after doctor after doctor, paying copay after copay after copay, buying, and if she had a husband, he had to deal with that. It was just horrible. Every woman should say that was some tremendous suffering. But she still had this sense within herself that I'm not going to quit looking for a solution. Even though it's been 12 years that I've suffered with the same problem, even though I've been tried for 12 years, I'm not going to stop looking for an answer to this problem. So she's the one who's going to give you that rose if you're enduring those problems that that seem long-lasting and their health issues. The next woman that's going to bring you that rose is Pastor Helena. She's going to come up and present you the second rose. And this rose is for the people who, doctors have said you can't do something, I remember when Pastor Alina, I don't remember, but I know the story of when Pastor Alina had died on the operating table for almost 10 minutes and flatline, beep. And doctors said she wouldn't sing again, she wouldn't play the piano again, all the bad reports, what she couldn't do because of all that lack of oxygen to her brain. She'd be a vegetable. Do you sing? Do you play the piano? Are you a vegetable? So for all the women who have gotten some kind of report that doctors say you never do this, you'll never have that, you never have a child, you'll never get well, she's presenting that rose for those women who are in the process, who are not quitting over that issue. And then the third women are all the women who are just facing grief. You're just going through a really, really hard, sad time. This is the woman who came to King Solomon because her baby died. What happened was she had a roommate, and you have to be careful of who your roommates are. So this girl, this chick and her were roommates, and they both had babies at the same time. And so she was laying with her baby, and the girl was laying with her baby, and the girl rolled in the middle of the night. If you don't know what this is, just read your Bible. She rolled in the middle of the night and smashed her baby, killed the baby. And then she, you know how you have sneaky friends? So she gets up in the middle of the night and she switches babies, because they're pretty newborn babies. Now, if it had been my sister, who's studying to be a lawyer, who's holding her daughter Isabella, she would have just snatched that girl, punched her in the face, kicked her in the belly, grabbed her baby back. Because she's a tough cookie. But this lady went to court. She went to King Solomon's court. And at King Solomon's court, the one woman, the sneaky friend, she's talking about, this is my baby, she's lying, that's my baby. No, it's always been my baby. She just wants my baby. You know how those liars, they just give it to you. Oh, she wants my baby. Oh, she always wanted what I had. And the real mother was like, she stole my baby, that's my baby. She gave me her dead baby. And Solomon, being a man of wisdom, he says, well, this is what we'll do. We'll just cut this baby in half. And we'll give one side to you, and we'll give one side to you. Now, the sneaky girl said, okay, that's what we could do. Yeah, because she already lost her baby. It wouldn't have really hurt her heart too much. But the real mother said, no. Just give the baby to her. Let the baby live. So Solomon gave her back her real baby because he knew that a mother with so much love that she would give away her own child to save its life was the real mother. So we're all those women who are going through those hard, grieving situations where you suffer tremendous loss. This woman is giving a rose to you. And then maybe some people are suffering situations that seem like they put you in a prison. This woman is coming, woman number 4, she's bringing her rose to you. For those of you who've been in it could be a literal prison, because women go to jail sometimes, unfortunately. Men do too, unfortunately. It could be a prison where you're just like stuck in a bad situation, you're stuck in a bad marriage, you're stuck in a hard time, you're just stuck somewhere, you're just in prison and you're thinking. This woman is Corrie ten Boom. She was this Dutch woman around during Adolf Hitler, when he was imprisoning Jewish people during the Nazi time period. So Corrie ten Boom and her family were some Dutch clockmakers. And they used to hide Jewish people in a secret room in their house. Well, they were caught and imprisoned because they were, committing treason to that evil, corrupt system, Hitler's system. So Corrie ten Boom's father was killed. Her sister died in prison. Her brother was killed. She lost all her family members. And she ends up, bad health, losing everything she had. But when she came out of prison, she had her finest days when she was really, really old. She traveled the world talking about Jesus. She actually forgave the guard who participated in a rape in prison against her in the camp. So she has, a real strong witness to those people who are going through those imprisoning situations, that if you just don't give up, your latter days will be greater than your former days. If you just continue to press through those horrible, dark seasons of just everything looking sad and crazy and locked in and closed in. The fifth woman is bringing you the rose for the embarrassing situations. Now, when I was in high school, this was still embarrassing. I don't know if this is embarrassing now, but this woman was a teenage pregnant woman. And I think scholars are saying she was pregnant at like 12, 13, or 14. And it used to be, my high school, you don't want to be, you got pregnant, now I heard some schools it's kind of cool. It's like, I got a baby bump like Beyonce. Oh yeah. I heard about somebody who's 13. I'm 13, I'm a daddy. That is really scary. That is so scary. I teach 13. That is so scary. That's scarier than Tupac and Biggie. That's like, can you imagine a 13-year-old with a 13-year-old brain being somebody's dad? Can you imagine two 15-year-old girls planning to get pregnant? Have you been around teenage girls? That is so scary. If you see some teenagers now, you need to be like, okay. And especially if you have kids, don't let them be holding the kids. Oh, your kid is so cute. You need to be like, girl, it is so hard. You got to get up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You got to make formula and bottles. You got to change diet. You need to make it real. Girl, don't do this till you're like 28 or 30. Make sure you have a husband. Oh, my gosh. Like, be giving them a scare. Be like, oh, your baby's so cute. I like your baby's little, baby clothes. Be like, oh, my gosh. They are so cute, but really, though? Go to college, man. You need to be given. That's what you should do as just a person in love. Don't let them think, they look on the TV and MTV and how that shows it all like, oh, teenage mother. And then you get I'm going to have my baby so I can get my TV contract and I'm going to blow up. Then I'm going to get my rap career